going double file.
Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky 194 and appreciate you stopping by and checking out my video. And I hope you're having a great day today. And we are here at Hungaroring in the USCP server here at an ACC. I'm on pole. Don't recognize a lot of the guys in here. I do recognize Dunham's in here. And Antonio's in here. So we got a couple guys in here. So we'll see if we can get through this first turn without getting killed from behind, I hope. See what we can do.
Green light, give it all you can. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Too hot in there, but hopefully the tires will come up the right pressures, I hope. See if we can get our ranking to move up.
Well done, mate. Fastest lap of the race so far.
not too bad. Definitely, this track don't let you rest for a second.
Well done, mate. Good lap.
Yeah, this setup is kind of roughed in. It's not definitely not fully done. Lost some time there.
Well done, mate. Fastest lap of the race so far.
They're getting up there now. It's a hot day. I think it's like mid-30s Celsius. It's pretty hot. So yeah, you're not going to get any really killer times in this. That guy's flying in the BMW. Turn up the brakes a little bit.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
And closing in a little bit.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Yeah, it's still closing in on me about a tenth or so at a time. Too deep. Yeah. little bit, by little bit. Dang it. Well, he keeps running really wide there. GT4 car in here. Delivery. Oh, he lost a bunch there, I think. Running a little quicker than me. Making up a lot of time in the turn one right there, it looks like. Everybody's closing in on me. Getting a 5-way battle here. Trying to get a good pace, not trying to destroy my front tires, but
We're halfway through. Keep it up. Yellow flag, be careful. There's a slow car up ahead. Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
wrecked again.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Messed that up. They're starting to drop off behind me. But that might just be a mistake in that one lap. So who knows? I got to keep the pace up. Yeah, they must be battling it out back there. Good for me. I'm slowing down big time. tell these tires have been pushed. Tires are getting too hot in front. Put some more brake in it. Need to get the rears working more. Oh, Dunham got into second. Got a 3-second lead. 2.9. We'll see what happens. Bentley's a really good car around here. So is the Aston Martin. Closing.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Better keep pushing. Definitely going fast now. take a chance. They're catching me very fast. So I'm just going to have to take a chance and turn up some more brake. Catch me over half a second. He's on my bumper now.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Probably get me here.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. There's a slow car ahead.
Good pass. I could have blocked him, but there's still a lot of laps to go.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Doing all I can do. It's understeering pretty good right now. That's what you get with the Porsche. Fuel runs out. Aston Martin. I'll be getting me here in a minute. He's catching me fast too.
Car on the right.
Whoa.
Clear on the right. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Good pass. I didn't want to go in too deep and run wide and hit him, so. I mean, I don't have the good angle. Like I said, I need to finish. I need to help my rating. Work on this some more. Probably should have used more rear brake in the beginning, right from the get-go. Two more laps. Got plenty of fuel.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Just understeering like crazy now. Yellow flag, be careful. Great race. I mean, what a race.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
The tires are way too hot. Woo, man, they smoking hot. Yeah, well, it went exceeded track limits if I didn't get hit. Got hit again.
Warning for exceeding track limits. The leader has finished the race. B3, we're on the podium. Excellent job, mate. Well managed all the way through.
Man, I'm beat. Woof, sweating like crazy. That was hard fought right there. Phew-wee. That was tough. Man, that was intense. Good win. Yep, that was great. Real close racing. Little bumping. I mean, that's all right. I mean, bumping's bumping. So that was just, yeah, pretty much for 40 minutes, it was just battling out. That was crazy. Definitely got to do better with the setup on this. It's just not, you know, car just at the end is totally giving up. So again, I got to work on that, see if I can improve upon it, and we'll go over the date, you know, go over the setup and see what's changed and all those kinds of things, and go from there. Alrighty, and done a bunch of laps, and it's actually a few days after, and actually a few videos have come out since this race. I just could not get a setup that I was happy with, and so I've worked on it off and on here for a few days, and I guess, and I'll try to go over some of the things that I tried, some of the things that I've changed, and but obviously the car had decent pace, but still wasn't even where it needed to be, even performance-wise. And then it, of course, with the Porsche, with the fuels in the front. So then as things go, it just got understeery worse and worse and worse. And then the tires were just absolutely destroyed on the front. When I got done and checked, they were just completely gone. So obviously the balance it needs to be more rotation, especially when you don't have a pit stop and you're going for 45 minutes straight. And on the Porsche, you almost got to be on the verge and the beginning of oversteer because it's going to get less and less as you go. So there's a lot of things that I tried, but I think we got a really good, solid package now. It's performance is up, and so is the consistency. So let's go over a lap. And I love the looks of this car. Great livery. When I had the battle there at the Rolex. And actually that car was for sale right after that race because this was just a one-off race. But here, I think they had it for sale for almost $500,000 or something. So if I had the money, I would have bought it. But yeah, in turn one there, I mean, they were making up some braking, so now I'm braking later in there with no problem. So I improved there. I improved also back there. Let's go back a little bit. I get caught up talking about the car. I can't help it. Sorry about that. But yeah, right here, I mean, I go right to the sign. Where before I was before that, like the 100 mark. So I'm actually going deeper than that, and it's fine. So just having the car set and balanced better. And then here, I was taking it in first, and now I found that if you carry enough speed, that seconds better, and I can carry a little bit, gain a little bit more time. So again, I changed that again. Driving, I'm always, and I've done 1,000 laps here, but you're just always learning what each car is different and what each car likes, and trying to get more performance out of it. Really strong through there and through here, changing directions, which I want to go over that too in the setup. Goes right over the bumps. It is really critical to get that right here, because that's a good passing zone for somebody who can get a good run right there. You can go real deep into here. That was a 1:45.04, and I know that's faster than what I was running, and that's with a race fuel load. I started with 81 liters, so I mean you still see I still got 64 right now. So I mean that's not like I'm qualifying or something. That's just with a regular race load. So I think it's super consistent. Feels really a lot better than it did. So let's go over some of the things here. And I just wanted to show you, like here, there's a 1/10 of a second right there, and that was on the last lap of my stint there. I mean, that was the last lap, and I did actually a better first sector by a 1/10 of a second. That would have got me into the 44s. So again, and there's a bunch of times it had 44 in my delta, but I just, even on the last lap, right after there, I had a 44 in my delta, but then the last sector, the second sector and all that, just lose a couple tenths, and that's all it takes. But I mean, you can see that last stint, I did like 10 laps, and every one of them was within a few tenths. I mean, that's the slowest lap. These two are the slowest at a 1:45.4. But even the last lap was a 1:45.23, and like I said, I even did my fastest first sector. So I think that's really good and consistent for 10 laps, and pushing hard as you can. So let's go over the setup. We've got 24.8 left front, 25.8 right front, 25.5 left rear, and 26.1 right rear. Tires, of course, I made, again, right to the last stint. Made a few little adjustments just to get things as dialed in as I can. The toe's a negative 0.2 on the front, with the camber at negative 3.8 and the caster at 9. And on the rear, the toe is negative 0.1 with the camber at negative 3.2. And here it's I tried some different toe settings, and basically I tried to run more negative toe on the rear, but it didn't really help any. I ran less negative camber, and it actually seemed like it didn't help. It actually maybe hurt a little bit. So I went back the other way, and it just gave it a little bit more steady, steady, a little more stability type stuff. And also, I think it picked up just a little bit in certain corners. So of course, I go with whatever, if it helps, I'm gonna go up. So I gave it some more negative camber, because you're always turning here. You're constantly just left, right, left, right. So many different turns that the car is just constantly turning from one direction to another. So that makes a big difference. But that's pretty solid. Electronics are 3, 4, and 3, and of course, you could turn it down to 2 and 3 if you want and get more aggressive with it. I just try to keep it to where it's very, safe. Of course, fuel, I had 81 liters, just normal graining and stuff, but no blistering or anything. Mechanical, I had 2 on the anti-roll bar. Brake bias is 52, and I would turn this down to 51 as soon as your tires are up to temperature. So after a few laps, 2 or 3 laps, I would probably go ahead and just turn it down to 51 after they're fully up to temperature, and start trying to get the rears to wear, because the front tires just take a beating because you're constantly turning all the time and wearing them faster. And no matter what you do, they wear faster than the rears. But to keep that as a minimum, I would definitely turn this down to 51 as soon as within a couple laps. But like I said, this is a lot different from the race. I think I had double this. I think I had 4 on the anti-roll bar here, and the front, it's just too stiff and not moving around, letting the front move enough. So I went ahead and took that out. Steering's all the way down. Springs are 127,000 on the front with a bump stop rate of 600 and a bump stop range of 15. And the rear's 174,500 with a bump stop rate of 500 and a bump stop range of 30, and that is increased. Everything there's the same. I did try some different spring packages, mainly on the front. I went stiffer, but the tires just act like this slid even worse. So and then it would go over the bumps worse. So I didn't think that was the ticket. And then I went ahead and increased the bump stop range, so it would go over the bumps a little bit better and not as harsh and not lose as much time, and you could still be really aggressive with them. And it seemed to help doing that, and didn't lose anywhere else. So I think that's a better way to go. Then any roll bar in the rear is the other way. Now it was 2 and I went to 4. So again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the front end to move more as far as going into the corners so it would turn, and we're trying to get the rear end to move more as far as rotating. And especially, you got these long hairpins and all these turns and all this other stuff. You got a lot of these real tight, not super tight, but they're kind of a long hairpin kind of. And you need some anti-roll bar to get this car to rotate. So I went ahead and, like I said, that helped a lot. And then also preload on the diff. I had it at 60. I tried it at 80. That made it worse. I probably lost 2 or 3 tenths just by going up to 80. But I went down to 50. It had 60 in the race, but again, 50 is even better because again, you're constantly changing direction, so you need the diff not to lock up because you're constantly changing all the time. Or maybe not. I'm not saying lock up totally, but you need it to be as free as possible so you can change directions as free as possible, as quick as possible without losing any time. So basically, just going from 60 down to 50 made a pretty good difference, and it was better driving. Better to drive also. I think it was more driver friendly even. Shocks on the front left is 10,953, and on the right front, that was the left front. Right front is 10,964. On the left rear, it was 8,775, and on the right rear, it's 8,763. So again, that is all done by Motec, just like I do in the Italian series in the video with the Ferrari. Basically go through Motec and really go through every shock individually and try to get it as dialed in as close as I can. And this has been through many, many adjustments, just a little here, a little there. And of course, as you change the balance of the car and change this and change that, it does change slightly the settings on the shock. So again, it's like tires, you're constantly checking it, but they are very, very close. Aero, I got 55 in the front, 76 in the rear, with a 5 splitter maxed out and a maxed out rear wing at 12, and a 5 and a 4 in the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a positive 0.4. Now the ride height is the same as I had in the race, and again with the Porsche, as you can see, we have 81 liters I think in there right now. So if we go all the way down to where we only got 3, this thing jumps all the way to 58. Now see, the rear doesn't move at all, because all the fuel's in the front of the car. So you went from 55 to 58. Now you're at negative 1.4. So again, it drops a whole full point in front aero variation because the front end is rising up because of the fuel. So that's the deal with the Porsche. And I mean, and of course, the more fuel you have, the bigger the difference. I mean, once you're starting out, because the car's starting out is at that ride height. And of course, as it drops, it's a big difference from 81 liters all the way down to near empty. So again, that's the challenge with the Porsche, and that's why you really have to concentrate on trying to have the car good over the whole way. And I just kind of missed to be honest, I just kind of missed and thought it was okay, but obviously it wasn't on the setup in the race. And I tried to go down one more. I tried to go down to 54 because it really felt good, but it hits sometimes. And I'm sure it would be fine as it came up, but so you can try that if you like it, but you just got to watch it because you do hit some of those sausages running over those things. So when you set it at 55, it just goes over them a lot better. So, excuse me. So the splitter, that's why I maxed the splitter out to try to get the front to turn as much as possible aero-wise. And then, of course, the ride height in the back is about the same, I think, as it was in the race, maybe a little less. So I raised the ride height up, I think, 1 or 2 clicks in the back. So, again, that's to help the car rotate and things like that. And, of course, the sway bar makes a huge difference. Front and rear has changed the whole balance of the car. So, again, the car rotates a lot better now than it did in the race. Instead of just burning the tires off, it does it, on its own. So instead of giving the tires the load, so to speak, it shares it. But I think it's a lot better and definitely has a lot better pace. And so I think it's really good. I sure hope somebody tries it and, let me know any feedback, what you think. And I'm always trying to make my setups better all the time. And, better balance, better performance, all those things. And again, I'll have a link to this setup in the description. And of course, I'll have a PayPal link in the description also if you want to help support the channel that way. And thank you so much for all my subscribers. And that's huge support, and liking this, liking it and sharing it and all that YouTube stuff, because that way it gets around. So please, I really appreciate that support also, and just watching the video, even over through, even if it takes multiple times. All those things really, really help a lot. So I appreciate it. And I sure hope you come back and visit again really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.